trust.
You
don't never know.
Your biggest only because you can convince yourself of the worst lies. Right. Nobody else can convince you. I can't tell you that shit is gold. This dookie is gold. You like, oh no, it ain't. But you can convince yourself. Yeah, you can convince yourself of any lie. Like I always tell people, you can convince yourself, I got the best pussy in the world. I got the biggest dick on the planet. And you can keep telling yourself that until reality hits you, and then that's where it's a game changer. But you won't mind lying like that for 20 years, 30 years. Right. It don't matter. You even get it on, turn the lights off, all that, so you can't see it. Only just feel it. I mean, you'll keep the lie going. Once you convince yourself a lie, that's the worst one.
You have reached the voicemail box of 951.
Any other lies, worldly lies, life lies, we might be able to research the lie. But a lie you tell yourself, there is no research for it. There is no paper to look at. There is no source.
It's in your brain. You lying to yourself all day.
And don't get used to that. Once you get used to lying to yourself, that's when you think things in life is cool and you'll leave it there. Or things in life is so horrible and it's really not that bad.
They say words is powerful, man. What you say, the vibrations.
Willpower is everything, man. That's my topic. Where we was talking yesterday, I told him willpower and perspective. I saw on, I think I was on World Star again. You know, I'll be looking for the
shouts out to World Star.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say controversial, but I need something that's gonna pique my interest and want my attention, because everything don't deserve your attention. I always remember that. Everything in the world don't deserve your attention. But it was a guy. He was a church dude, white guy. He was talking to a black guy, black and white guy, black and Mexican, something like that. But he told him his thing is America is divided because of perspective. So, you know, I added that to my what's needed in life is willpower and perspective, but the right perspective. Because this is his thing. He had two people stand up. They was looking at each other. He grabbed a Pepsi bottle. He held the Pepsi bottle up in the air. He asked the black dude, "What do you see?" He said, "Pepsi." You know, it say Pepsi on it. This and that. He said, "Okay, cool." He asked the person, the white guy that was on the standing in front on the other side. He said, "What do you see?" He said, "I see carbohydrates, total fat trans intake, the carbohydrates and He said, "Okay." Now he asked him again, "What do you see?" He said, "Pepsi." He said, "What do you see?" He said, "I see total trans fat." And he's like, "Now, with this being said, this is how they view. This is how America and this is how people been bred to view things. It's the same thing. Y'all both looking at the same thing. But as America and as leaders, we have trained y'all to only look at a certain direction. If we only show you this is just what you're going to pay attention to. Not knowing y'all seeing the same thing. Not knowing y'all seeing the same poverty. But since the poverty looks different on both ends, y'all think it's not the same. Since rich on both ends looks different, y'all think it's not the same. You know what I mean? Our rich is different than your rich. All right, so he was saying perspective was the downfall of it, because we're both looking at the same dream. But the dream looks different from my angle. Mm-hmm. And it looks different from your angle. Mm-hmm. That's where they say the white privilege and all that, and which is there. I don't deny white privilege, but like they say, it was perspective on it. Mm-hmm. White people looking from the back of the dollar side, and we're looking from the front of the dollar side. On the back of it, they see the building. American, proud to be eagle, yes. We looking at the front, we see a white man on our money. You understand? Perspective. Mm-hmm. And that's how he said that's the divide. That's the problem with it. So for me, my topic on how to get people to bring it up a level, man, is gonna be willpower. Keep your willpower up. Without will, you have no strength, you have no fatigue, you have none of that, because you don't have the will to even try it. You know what I mean? And when I say will for my grown men, for my 80s babies, I mean nuts. If you ain't got the nuts to do it, if you ain't got the nuts to try to complete it, if you ain't got the nuts, then you ain't got them. You can get out the way for somebody who actually trying to see if they do. You understand what I'm saying? But my thing is willpower and perspective. Always get a different perspective on a thing. Never think that your thought is the only thought. You know? Right. Your recipe is the only recipe. You know? Your solution is the only solution. No, get a different perspective. You might see it from a different angle. Mm-hmm. They say two heads are better than one. In a lot of cases, it is. Because if you only think your way, there is only your answers to those questions. Versus how I'm sitting here with two other grown men, and my answer for a question might not be the same answer that they got. What I heard about a certain situation, they might have heard something different about that situation. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's my thing, man, for the day, man, is keep your willpower up, man. You know, Perspective, perspective, perspective. I'm going to drill that in your head like military, man. Perspective, perspective, and willpower, man. You know, stay happy, stay safe. Yeah. It's your boy Natty Bang, man.
Rockstar energy drink. Those who want to do the exercise, we're going to say rockstar to ourselves without opening our mouths, without saying anything outside. We're going to say this to ourselves. We're going to say rockstar to ourselves. Don't say it out loud at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now the question to ask, if you've said rockstar in your mind, the question to ask is, what voice is that? What voice is that? What voice just spoke? You just said rock star without moving your mouth at all. On top of that, you on top of saying rock star, you heard yourself say rock star. How can you hear yourself say rock star and no vibration of sound has happened? See, this puts a different perspective on what sound actually is. And what memory is. Memory's not in the brain, memory's in the soul. The only thing you take with you after this life is your memories or your knowledge, your experiences. That's the only thing you take. Unless you study Egypt culture, they believe you can take all this stuff with you on the other side. Just as a side note. But if you said rock star in your mind or in your being is the true answer, is the true statement. In your being, what was that voice? What was the voice that spoke and then you heard yourself speaking? But these ears did not hear you say anything because your mouth didn't move. So the ears didn't hear it, the mouth did not move, but you spoke and you heard yourself speaking. If you close your eyes, you can see this better. If you close your eyes and put this image in another sight, if you close your eyes, you can still see this. What is the sight that can see your future? These two eyes don't see the future. These two eyes don't see the past. Yet, you can see your past and you can see your future. You can actually see your past. What is the sight that can see beyond time? Don't give it away. What is this is an ancient meditation. This is an ancient meditation that I am not the flesh. I am the energy, the consciousness, the being in the flesh. And this is proof. This is no faith. This is not religion. This is actual fact. You can speak without moving your mouth. You can hear without ears. You can see without eyes. So what happens when these eyes, this mouth, and this ear drops off into the grave? These other senses are all you're left with. Death is an illusion. Once you realize this, you live your life more courageously. Now, no one wants to die before their time, so you try to protect yourself. But know that this body is the limitation of you. It is not your zenith. It is not your ultimate. Your ultimate is that voice that just said rockstar. That voice that just said rockstar without nothing physical moving, that person is immortal. That person is not here with you. Let's go deeper. The body is in, 3 dimensions, right? Forward, back, right, left, up, down, and time. 4th dimension. 3 dimensions plus time. That's our physical reality. Front, back, right, left, up, down. That's 3D plus time. What happened to in and out? Look at the Easter. Look at the English thought. Back, forth, right, left, up, down, no in and out. No in and out. What is in and out? Rock star. Rock star says, I exist without the body. So where is this other existence? Where is it? It's not here. It's not in three-dimensional space where you really are. The person that said this is in a whole different dimension. Just switch a little bit. Talk to yourself more. Affirm to yourself more. Don't move none of this. Close this down and go within and say, I am the greatest ... ever. I have all my needs coming with speed. I am a being of love and light and knowledge. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Whatever it is, have your affirmation on your tongue. In your being. This is how the gods created this whole reality. The first humans, imagine, the first humans, they came from inner space. They came out. Study the Anunnakis. They came out of inner space. Not from outer space. Inner space. Rockstar. Before there was a body, there was this voice traveling in this voice's dimension. To get here to the earth, the inner voice created this outer extension of itself to be in this dimension. Once you realize that you are not just in this dimension, but you're also in another dimension, you now are free. Because whatever happens to you here in this dimension is not your only reality. See, this is how Jesus was able to get beaten and brutalized and hang on the cross. He wasn't here. He was the rock star. Inside, he went to the inner man. Do what you want with the body. I'm not here. Now, once you realize that level of consciousness, where you are officially, you identify yourself as the spirit, not the flesh. You are the inner voice, not the outer voice. Once you become the inner voice, now your outer voice has power. Now when you speak, it's not just a shell speaking. There's a being speaking through the shell. And this is where you heal all sickness in your body. This is where you command reality to work with you, and it works according to your consciousness. Why? Because it's not a shell that's speaking. There's a real being in the shell that is speaking. And when the real being speaks, all nature and the universe responds.
Shouts out KRS-One, man. That's heavy for them, man.
Hey, this what we doing?
Let's go.
I don't want to sleep on these niggas, man. I woke back up and they still ain't getting no money,
They just trying to make some bands.
I go to sleep on them haters. I don't go to sleep on the paper. Don't you let the money make it. I'm a fucking money maker. I'm a fucking road runner. All winter to the summer. All I think about is numbers. The commas on commas on commas. I go to sleep on them haters. I don't go to sleep on the paper. I go to sleep on them haters. I don't go to sleep on the paper. I go to sleep on them haters. I don't go to sleep on the paper. I go to sleep on them haters. I don't go to sleep on the paper. I ain't really with the gay shit. But being frank, that's my main bitch. I don't hang with the fuck boy, so they can go with the hate shit. If it's money that you talking about, then I can get a brick made quick. I just wanna touch a million nigga. Money give a nigga pay shit. I ain't really with the phone talk. Top line with the bird talk. You can meet up on the 50 block. Damn fly, we let them bird walk. Trash sale that I threw away, cause I couldn't get the echo off. I don't trust niggas on these hoes. Either one could try to knock me off. That's why I don't sleep on the money, cause I know the money gon' love me. And I know it never gon' come me. Can't trust to be eating the molly. She give up a trap out the road. Lights so